I was talking to a CEO this morning, and he had a great question for me. He asked, Kirk, how do we make sure that we are constantly raising the bar on talent? As a CEO, and I dove into this question of how do you go about really setting up a culture where the expectations are understood. I shared a story with them, and this is something I've done in a lot of organizations. I talked to them a little bit about, in organizations, we measure what matters. We have budgets and we allocate our dollars to different parts of resources. And as those spends start to happen, we look at those and assess if we're on track or off track. Oftentimes in a healthy organization, we'll have a monthly ops review where we're looking at, our strategy and the goals for the year and our ops and how we're aligning and how the organization is aligning around those and how we're prioritizing and we're measuring that. And even in a healthy organization, we'll sometimes have a people operation or HR function where we're doing reviews and trying to give people some training and development. But what I said I said, probably on the most valuable asset that we have are people, but we really don't ever have the conversation in an explicit way. Oftentimes the conversations happen back channel, closed rooms, in our head, and we don't have a way of really establishing and discussing and having a good and healthy and full conversation around people. So I said, think about this and try this. I said, his organization has about 215 people. I said, let's take everybody that has been there 9 months or more. So give somebody some track record. And here's the questions I want you to ask. I want everybody on your team that reports directly to you to have to go through each individual on their team and answer this question. If I knew what I know about this person today and they walked through the door, would I hire them? You've got 3 options. It's yes, no, or I don't know. So I said, if the answer is yes, the follow on, there's three other questions you got to ask. What is one thing that makes them great, that makes you want to say yes? What is one area where you think that you can develop them and that they need to grow, something that they need to continue in their growth and their success? Nothing stays the same. And the third part is, what is one action that you're going to take? And that action can be something positive, something encouraging, such as going back to the person and saying, hey, 10 out of 10 times, if you walk through the door today, I would still hire you. And here's why. Because your attitude's infectious, or your work product is always superior. I never ever have checking out. Whatever it may be, it can be something that's positive. It doesn't have to always just be about just developing. It can be words of encouragement, which are actually the source of motivation. If the answer is no, then there needs to be a plan. There needs to be a plan, because I've never seen an organization that performed at a 9 or 10 and then grew at that, but people that were 6s and 7s. Yet that happens over a long period of time. If the answer is I don't know, maybe the person's in a new role, maybe there's somebody who's had a life event that they're wrestling with and struggling with, and those are all okay and normal parts of life. But then what I say is, you write a date down, either 3 months from now or 5 months from now, by which time the answer does have to be either a yes or a no. And the reason for that is oftentimes I see people hold on to people way too long, and they say stuff like, well, I didn't really give them a chance, or they didn't have the skills that they needed, or I didn't get them the training that they needed, or whatever. And so that, or gosh, they're still they're still making some shots. They're maybe not making all their shots, but they're still making some. And so kind of wrap it with all these excuses. But when you have to put this time out there and it has to be a yes or no, it's a forcing function on you as a leader to develop a plan and to start helping that person. So when that time comes up, you can say, I did everything I could. I trained and developed them, and look, they made it. They listened and they made it, or they didn't make it, but I gave them every chance. And now we make room for growth by bringing in the talent that we need. He loved the idea. And we talked a little bit more about it. I said the key is if you don't want it to be draconian, you don't want it to be negative, then set the tone. It's your job as a CEO to set the tone at the top. Set the tone around this. Tell them why you're doing this. You're not doing this to just measure people and put them in a little box. You're doing it as a forcing function to measure what matters most and to have good and healthy conversations. I told him, if you set the bar on what high performance looks like too high, then it'll be unrealistic. If you set it too low, their high performers will just roll their eyes. I said, you've got to set the tone. You and your team have got to set the tone on what high performance looks like and have those discussions. And have those discussions in an open forum. Well, that sure makes some people uncomfortable for sure. I get it. But let's just be real. Those conversations are being had anyways. We might as well have them out in the open. And we might as well have them in a way where we can develop and grow. You can do it.